Okay, hello guys, I'm Parker Milligan, and today I'll be discussing my mathematical model for the upcoming election tomorrow. So, as you guys are aware, Texas has historically been a red state, and all of the polling that I've seen suggests that Trump will win Texas by around 1 point, maybe 2 points, or maybe a little less. However, I think that these polls will be inaccurate, and Biden will win the state of Texas tomorrow, or whenever the results get back. Now, here's the thing. Texas, last election, the polling said that that Trump would win by 12 points, and he only won by 9 points. So now he's ahead only 1 point. So if they flip the same amount, he'll lose by 1.9 points. However, that's not the reason why I think Texas will be blue this election. The reason is because there's another factor that 538 and these other polling places are not factoring for, and that is a huge causatory variable, which is voter turnout. Now, as you can see from these past elections, there is a clear link between, or a clear correlation between the number of people who vote and how much the Republicans win by. The more people who vote, the less the Republicans win by. Here, line goes up, number goes down. Here, line goes up, number goes down. Now, that is also true for the midterm elections. And here's the thing. As of October 30th, which is way before the election, many more people will vote. 9 million people already voted in the election in early voting, which is more than in 2016. The projected number will probably be well over 11 million, but let's say conservatively, for the sake of argument, that only 11 million people vote. Well, under those conditions, I calculated the trajectory of the previous 3 general elections in Texas. 7.9. One of these is the number of millions of people who voted for Democrat, Republican, and the other number is the amount that the Republicans won by. Now, I put that into a regressive line calculator, obviously, and then I took a look at, you plot these 3 points down, you see the trend line, obviously, right? So, as I said, negative correlation between those two things. Now, where you see 11 million people vote, so if 11 million people vote, based on this math, Biden wins Texas by 15 points. Okay, I don't think that, maybe he might not win by 15 points, sure. I'm definitely willing to admit that I'm not confident that he'll win by 15 points. But the idea that this is gonna be in the red is very, it just doesn't really match up with this trend line at all. It would be extremely bizarre, and as you can see, based on this model, every election year, pretty much the same amount of Republicans vote for the Republican candidate in Texas. So you see, this goes back all the way to 2004, in the year 2000 in the general elections. You see these pretty much an incrementally small increasing number of turnout among Republicans. So if that trend continues, which is a very strong trend, which is just incremental increase of support, about 0.3 million, so you'll see them only have about less than 5 million votes. Now, do I think that, let's say for the sake of argument, they get 5 million votes, and then they get, which would be, actually over projecting the amount of people that they get out to vote, but let's say they get even more. They get 5.5. Under those conditions, they have now multiplied the amount of people that they get out to vote, new voters, by 5 times under those conditions, which is ridiculous already. And even under those conditions, we still see Biden winning the state based on this math and these projections. So, as you can see, the new voters mostly come from places like Harris County, where I live, big blue cities, fast-changing counties, some in solid red territory for sure, but a lot of that is canceled out by the border counties. So if you look at all the math, it definitely suggests that these new voters who make up a huge amount of the electorate and are already voting are clearly going to vote Biden disproportionately. Now you look at that, and you put all that together, and the one thing is clear. Texas is going to be blue tomorrow or whenever the results get back in. And I've already placed a $40 bet that Texas will turn blue. And if 538 are watching this, it would be nice if you guys hired me. I think that I could probably help you predict some stuff in the future. And that's all I have. All right, thank you.